Videos by YGOSmurf. Be creative. Hi guys, YGOSmurf here, and today we're going to be talking about cyber dragons and their archetype. So, straight into their lore. Unfortunately, there really isn't that much to them, but the little that we do have is that they originated from Zane Truesdale and later went to Cyrus Truesdale in the anime Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. They are mechanized dragons that appear to be completely created for upgrading and customization as well as combination. Cyber dragons also happen to be the spiritual predecessor to Blue Eye, with them both being used by one of the main antagonists of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Story. And that's about all we have for the lore, but we do have plenty of fun facts, and here they are. Cyber dragons were once considered so good to use in any deck as a staple that they were actually limited for a long time. Not because of their main strategy being effective, but because they were literally just such a good card back in the day that everyone ran them. Cyber dragons currently have 18 reprintings, and among those 18 reprintings, all rarities of the card have been printed, except for Ghost Rare, I believe. If I'm wrong, go ahead and post in the comments below. Cyber Dragon themselves are a sub-archetype of the Cyber Archetype. While kind of a loose archetype and not many cards amongst them, Cyber Dragons are a part of it. Cyber Dragons themselves, who are a sub-archetype, also have their very own sub-archetype, which are the Chimera Tech. And these are combination Dark Dragon fusion monsters that make the Cyber Dragon deck a little bit more viable. Cyber Dragons in general have three main strategies. You have sort of a main deck beat, a fusion monster smackdown, and an XE lockdown. The main deck beatdown focuses on the fact that Cyber Dragons are easy to summon, have a lot of attack points, and are machines, so they can be used with varying support. That's about all the main deck strategy has to offer, but it's also got some few pretty cool gimmicks like Cyber Laser Dragon and Cyber Barrier Dragon that do some pretty interesting things. The Fusion Summon Smackdown combines the really good main deck monsters that have high attack together with cards like Polymerization, Overload Fusion, and Power Bond to create even bigger, badder monsters through fusion summoning. The main cards of this are normally Overload Fusion or Power Bond. That Power Bond itself allows you to double the attack of the machine-type monster you're summoning, while Overload Fusion allows you to summon from your field or your graveyard if you're summoning a dark machine-type monster. The XE Summon Lockdown is actually newly generated from one of the newer cards, Cyber Dragon Infinity. It uses the main deck monsters to swarm and then overlay into XE monsters that then again swarm, gain attack, as well as absorbing monsters, gaining attack, and negating effects. In my opinion, Cyber Dragons are awesome. They have the versatility, the utility, the splashability, the control, the lock, the beat, everything. It's just, I really like Cyber Dragons. They're a really cool archetype that you can run gimmicky or you can run straightforward, that you can splash with other archetypes, or you can make your own just straight Cyber Dragon deck. It's got a lot of different cards in it now, and I think it really creates a good alternate version, a good flexibility in the playing style and the creation. For the particular strategies that Cyber Dragons can go into, the main deck one is clearly theatrical. It's not really meant to be played in a competitive way, but you get to do some silly things and play some of the more straightforward Cyber Dragon support cards that are just really gimmicky, but at the same time really fun. The Fusion Summon Smackdown just creates these absurdly high attack monsters that just plow through almost everything and anything in its wake. However, they're not really meant, or really, a fusion summoning strategy isn't really good as a whole deck, like just pure fusion summon interest in a deck. That's not really good. It's better if you use it as like an addition or a tech engine in an already machine type deck, and a few others that make it especially good. The XE Summon Lockdown is more of a competitive and more, I feel like, fulfilling way to play Cyber Dragons, because they're actually a deck that you can use to win and compete with higher tier stuff. Not to mention that you can, by playing the XE Summon, you're already playing the main deck one for the main deck strategy for the most part, but then you can also splash in the fusion summon part if you're not looking for such a turbo XE summon kind of strategy that allows you to get the good beefiness of Cyber Dragons without losing any consistency, and that's really cool. In all, Cyber Dragons are hell, they're the Blue Eyes of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. They have multiple different strategies as well as multiple different support cards they've been reprinted so many times. My knowledge, the only thing that's been reprinted more is Mystical Space Typhoon. And I really enjoy playing them, and I'm planning on playing them for the years to continue in whichever way I can. And they're Cyber Dragons for you. Don't forget to like this video, comment your thoughts about it down below, share this video so your friends know what you're talking about. Subscribe to me if you deem me worthy. Have a wonderful day, guys.